Hello everyone and welcome back MMA News Channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Today, we should get everything rolling with Israel Adesanya. Won't ever be a top contender from now on. Following Israel Adesanya's overwhelming misfortune at UFC Saudi Arabia, there's been a lot of talk with respect to the last stylebender's future and whether his experience as a world-class middleweight has reached a conclusion. What's more, before we proceed, try to pass on a like on the video to assist with supporting the channel. Indeed, one individual who accepts the Adesanya period has come to a nearby is Michael Bisping. Heading into Saturday's occasion, the agreement appeared to be that while Nazar and Imavov would be a test for Adesanya, Izzy would probably arise triumphant and continue his quest for a title shot. Be that as it may, Imavov continued to drop jaws all through the MMA world by taking Adesanya out in the subsequent round. So the inquiry presently is, what's next for Adesanya? He's lost 3 straight battles now, and is nearer to 40 than 30. During the post-battle broadcast, here was some of what Bisping needed to say regarding the last-style drinking spree. The greatest focal point is that it's finished. Israel Adesanya's rule as champion, I don't think will return in the future. I express that with the best of regard, and I genuinely intend that. A unique, a fantastic contender, a legend of the game, a future lobby of famer. However, his time at the top is finished. As noted, Bisping isn't the main individual who has voiced his perspective since Imavov's success. Obviously, it's conceivable that Adesanya could string together various triumphs and challenge for the belt once again. Yet, given his age and the number there are at 185, you can comprehend the reason why some have shut the book on his days as a champion. Obviously, not all the way of talking encompassing Adesanya seems okay by the same token. He looked great almost immediately in the session with a move, and dislike he's been losing to jars. He was falling off misfortunes to top-level middleweights like Dricus Du Plessis and Sean Strickland. So when individuals began discussing Adesanya's destruction on the web, Darren Till rushed to fire back. Here is some of what the previous middleweight competitor needed to say by means of web-based entertainment. In any case, presently I swear I couldn't in fact understand that I have recently seen a remark saying Israel Adesanya's destruction should be contemplated. Me and Izzy are not companions. I wouldn't agree that I'm his most ardent follower beyond the octagon, yet that is God. All to do with what that man has accomplished in this game. He was destroying machine at middleweight. Nobody could beat him, in a real sense. At one phase, he looked magnificent in his title rule. Individuals just weep for the battle among me and him in view of styles. Be that as it may, realities are realities. He was destroying everybody. He made Paula Costa seem to be a child who, coincidentally, had a conflict with Just Go for Romero. He totally bodied Robert Whittaker. Izzy was an outright destroying machine in his day. He's for certain one of the middleweight GOATs, and it's not even far from being obviously true. Truth be told, he can lose his next 5 battles, and it wouldn't change. Thing and his GOAT status. Just a brief time ago when Adesanya was undefeated in MMA and was generally viewed as one of the most outstanding pound-for-pound contenders on the planet. In any case, what is your take? Might we at any point see Adesanya make another title run? Or on the other hand, how about Izzy leave the game? Joe Rogan spills instant messages about Merab versus Umar. Merab Dvalishvili rose up out of UFC 311, as yet holding the bantamweight belt. And the boss has gotten piles of acclaim for the heart and durability he showed that evening. However, the discussion actually go on with regards to whether the battle might have been granted to Umar Nurmagomedov. Heading into UFC 311, many accepted that Nurmagomedov planned to make Merab's rule as champion a short one. Right off the bat in the battle, it appeared as though that expectation might work out. However, Dvalishvili continued to come, and after 5 rounds of activity, he was granted the triumph with scores of 48-47, 49-46, and 48-47. Following the session, Nurmagomedov handed off he accepted the got it wrong, and he ought to have been granted the belt. Indeed, during a new episode of Joe Rogan's digital recording, He uncovered that he, Daniel Cormier, and John and Nick are as yet discussing who won the battle by means of texts. It's been some time since it resembled a truly sketchy one. You understand what's a fascinating one, not a sketchy one. However, an intriguing one is Merab versus Umar. So Merab Dvalishvili and Umar Nurmagomedov. They go to the distance, 5-round battle. Merab ends up winning a choice. Astonishing battle, astounding battle. Likely the best 135-pound title battle in the history of this board. It was unimaginable. It was so all-around coordinated. They went this way and that. Umar obviously broke his hand in the main round, was all the while tossing it for the entire battle. He ended up bringing Merab down, and no one anticipated that. He got Merab covered. He won the initial 2 rounds, and the inquiry is the 3rd round. Thus, I watched it multiple times, and me and John and Nick and Daniel Cormier have been going this way, and that with text about this. I was like, man, that 3rd round is so close. It's so close. I could see past his judgment on giving it to Umar. He landed more strikes on the feet. He got 1 takedown. Merab several takedowns. However, he didn't do much with the takedown. In any case, Daniel had a truly valid statement that toward its finish, Merab's was speeding up, and it seemed as though Umar was beginning to get worn out. Yet, toward the finish of the 3rd round, Umar has Merab covered. A couple of months prior, in front of UFC 304's title battle against Leon Edwards, Belal Muhammad's striking mentor expressed that Belal has hands like Canelo Alvarez. Presently, Belal's posted a class from a new competing meeting where he's seen thumping on his preparation accomplice, who doesn't actually seem to be a very remarkable contender. He subtitled the video Canelo Hands. UFC bantamweight competitor Corey Sandhagen says he encountered a little cardiovascular failure yesterday in a video shared to his socials. Corey made sense of that during a new fighting meeting. He assumed he had genuinely harmed his competing accomplice. Little breakdown from fighting. Connor steps in. Blast. I hit him hard as poo in the liver with the right knee. All right, he has a battle coming up. Good. Don't feel not good enough for him. This is exactly the way that it goes. What I didn't expect is to feel that I had kicked Connor on the grounds that when I go to beware of him outside. This is the very thing that I see. It appears as though he's hurling damn blood. It very closely resembles blood. I'm going to have a coronary episode. I investigate at him. He's giggling and simply letting me know that it's beet juice. Remain safe. He's behind him and he's controlling him against the enclosure, and he had ended up bringing Merab down at one specific moment. So it resembles he handled a great deal of strikes on the feet, most likely caused more genuine harm. Yet Merab brought him down more, and Merab was pushing the speed, and Merab did likewise land shots like it was close. It's the 3rd round that is a genuine close one, since I gave the initial 2 rounds to Umar, and afterward you get into the 3rd. You're like, goodness, that is the one. That one's nearby on the grounds that the 4th and the 5th were obviously Merab was coming areas of strength for on. However, I would be exceptionally glad to see that battle once more. Exceptionally cheerful. It was a nearby battle. That much is without a doubt. Be that as it may. Who do you trust won this awe-inspiring fight, and might you want to see them run it back? Strolling Buckley goes off on Daniel Cormier, calling him out for not discussing the new Conor McGregor remarks made. About Habib, he went on X and said this. Astonished DC didn't make reference to nothing about Conor, considering his sibling Habib and or. I feel like we excessively okay with anyone saying N-word these days, particularly in the UFC. So, once more, beginning with this pattern back, say N-word around me. Lay hands on you. Belal Muhammad goes off on Sean Strickland. Belal Muhammad and Sean Strickland have been going conflict through web-based entertainment posts and remarks in interviews. It doesn't appear as though it will end at any point in the near future. By the same token, assuming you follow them, you realize that the two have exchanged verbal shots many, ordinarily. Muhammad has over and again guaranteed that Strickland's bark is significantly greater than his nibble. Following Nazar Nimovov's unequivocal stoppage of Ezra Desanya at UFC Saudi Arabia, The welterweight champ took a jab at Strickland's battling style once more. This is the thing Muhammad posted by means of X. In saying that Jamia completed Whitaker and Imavov completed Easy, however, the person that TP cost him multiple times is having the title chance. Yet we as a whole know he's great at crying and utilizing his mouth. No diddy. I just heard it from his father. Indeed, there's almost certainly Strickland's quite possibly the hardest out in the halfway division, and that he holds triumphs more than a few remarkable warriors, including Adesanya. It's likewise a fact that the straightforward warrior has kept only 2 completions in the 12 battles he's had starting around 2020. Be that as it may, what's your interpretation of Muhammad's analysis of Strickland? Do you accept he has the right to battle for the belt once more, or should the UFC have gone with Khabib, all things being equal? Regardless of that, as Muhammad insinuated, Strickland is planning to fight the one who finished. His rule as champion Drake is Du Plessis briefly time at UFC 312. Strickland has contended as of late that he's an infinitely better striker than the DP, but at the same time it's reasonable he regards the top dog's strength. This is everything that he as of late said to ESPN. Everything I say to individuals at the most significant levels of rivalry don't break, as I don't break. He doesn't break. Do you think sooner or later a round will come and he will get off the stool and be as, I would rather not be here? You can daze him in the eye, break his nose, and he will get up, me notwithstanding, and we will battle. At our level, we don't break, and we will for what we need. We can hardly stand by and perceive how the rematch unfurls. Who do you suppose will win next Saturday's bout? Do you figure DDP will overcome Strickland briefly time? Or on the other hand, will Strickland recover the middleweight crown? Dricus Du Plessis sends an admonition to Sean Strickland in front of their battle at UFC 312. This is the thing Drake has needed to say. At the point when I go in there, assuming that there's no ref, the ref doesn't stop, yet I'm not halting. I can be perched on you for 10 minutes, slamming your face. You know, on the off chance that the ref doesn't say stop, I'm not halting. What's more, that is the issue that me as a current combatant needs to ask myself. Am I actually able to? Totally. That is simple. It's are you able to man before his loved ones? Indeed, I'm. Also, that is the reason I'm the title holder, since I express yes to that answer that question each and every time. Sean Strickland posted new preparation film in front of UFC 312. UFC refreshes. We should investigate some news with respect to new UFC matchups, dates, and likely pieces. Marcel Dorff is detailing that a bout between Giga Chikadze and David Onama has been moved from the UFC's April 5th Vegas card to the advancement's April 26th occasion in Kansas City, Missouri. Giga Chikadze is hoping to refocus as he dropped a choice misfortune to Arnold Allen in his last battle, which went down in July. The Geo